pessoal, estamos aqui com o Gordy. Gordy é o cara, é ele que começou tudo, foi ele que criou a Western States e eu vou conversar aqui com ele. Hi Gordy, how you doing? You still running?
Yeah.
You're going to run this year?
Yeah. I ran 44 miles 2 Sundays ago, so that was
a good long run.
Yeah, it was like 10 days. 10 days.
You have been running from the beginning, of course, and do you still feel found pleasure running 100 miles?
That's kind of a slightly masochistic pleasure, but maybe some more than slightly. But I really enjoy running. Like I had a wonderful time running 44 miles 10 days ago. I took my time, didn't push the pace. I was just out there. We have these little salamanders called fire-billy newts, and they were in all of the shady spots, like daring me to squish them, and I didn't squish any of them. I was kind of surprised I didn't see any rattlesnakes. Usually I'll see a rattlesnake or two. And didn't see any bears. Didn't see any mountain lions.
See any bears is good.
Well, bears aren't too dangerous. Our bears aren't.
Have you ever had any problems with bears running the Western States?
My only problem with bears is they run away faster than I would like to. Yeah. I would like to make friends with them.
I got it.
But they always run away. I've met 4 mountain lions, and only one of them was checking me out for a meal.
Yeah. And did you feel proud of that?
Well, I felt honored.
Yes.
I felt honored. And we ended up staring eyeball to eyeball, not too far away from, the tree over there.
I got it.
And, he was, basically what he was trying to figure out was, could he safely kill me? And I didn't do anything that, I just stood there and I didn't do anything that made him think he could safely kill me. And eventually a squirrel above him, it was probably 5 or 6 minutes, started scolding him and charged down the tree scolding him, and then he ran away.
They squirrel put the lion to run away.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
When you had the idea of running 100 miles in a horse pace, somebody tells you that was a good idea?
The people who were, the founder of the horse race and his secretary, basically, it was kind of their event. They put it on, and with tremendous help from the community, because everybody thought it was wonderful. But they invited me to do it.
To run the race.
Yeah, they invited me. They invited me to do it on foot. My horse went lame the year before.
I got it.
In '73, and when the Wendell's secretary, who spoke for him, when she saw me walking with this lame horse with a expression like, oh, it's like the worst thing in the world that just happened, and so I was coming up her driveway. The horse went lame actually the week before the race. I was coming up
the horse was bad.
I was coming up Roby Point. She lived on Roby
Point,
Drive.
The end of the race.
Yeah, right. Well, and I had a lame horse, and so she invited me to stop, and she had said, "How are things going?" "Oh, this is awful," and she said, "Don't go away. I'll be right back." And she came back with a bottle of wine and 2 glasses.
Good.
Poured me a glass of wine.
Get the race.
Said, "Sit down." And she listened to my tale of woe, and then she invited me to run it the next year. She said that her and Wendell had been wondering when I was going to run it because I spend so much time with my feet on the ground, which is true because I normally weigh about 205 pounds. Like right now, I probably weigh 197.
It's a half Gordy now.
A mere vestige of my former self. So, anyway, I spent a lot of time on the ground because the heavier the weight, the more likely the horse is to go lame on the downhill, and the harder it is for the horse to carry on the uphill. So what I do is I hop off on the downhills and I lead the horse, and when we got to the bottom of a hill, I'd grab his tail and we go up the hill because it's much easier for him to pull me up than to carry me up. And so because the horse race was, you know, it was more up and down than it was flat, as you'll find out.
She'll find out.
She'll find out.
Yeah.
I was spending more time with my feet on the ground than my
the horse.
on the saddle.
Over the horse.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. So they figured. Oh, and the other thing was, a few months before my horse went lame on the ride, just for a lark, I'd gone down with my partner Jim Larimer, he was my ride and tie partner, and he was going to take his horse, which we were using the ride and tie, he was going to take him through the Castle Rock 50-mile ride, which is down on the coast, just north of Santa Cruz. And I said, you know, I think I'll try running that. So I went down with them, and I ran it.
And when you're drunk, that's amazing.
Yeah, I ran the 50. It was a 50-mile, and so they'd heard about that.
I got it.
You know, and Jim bet me. Jim bet me that I couldn't beat 10 or more of the finishing horses, and I ended up placing between the 39th and 39th horse in a field of 90. I beat a lot of horses that day, but that was a cool day.
Stronger than a horse.
Well, no.
Smarter for sure.
Maybe pound for pound.
And what Western States means to you? After 45 years, have you ever imagined that the Western States will become what it is now?
Back then, no. No. In fact, in '78, after we had our first real race.
Yeah, with big numbers and stuff.
Yeah, the kind of, you know, it sort of resembled what we did today, or what we do today. But
it's such an honor.
Okay.
But back then,
is that a real one?
get out of here. Santa Claus has hated people like that.
No toys for him this Christmas. Okay.
He gets lumps of coal in his stockings.
Yeah, only stockings. Yeah. And
anyway, the first advertised run was 1977, but there were no aid stations.
No aid stations.
Well, that's the way I had it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I set the race up that time, and you know, we had 3 finishers out of 14, and so you know, we got together after that, and a bunch of us, you know, Wendell he appointed a board of directors, and you know, we got together and we decided, well, the way Gordy did it is a little too hard. This won't be successful that way. See, I went out and I stashed Gatorade, the quarts of Gatorade at 10 spots
Gatorade.
along the road. Yeah, Gatorade.
Gatorade is very modern at that time.
Yeah. So, but that was the rule, you know. You'd have whatever you put out there. Well, they decided that you couldn't really do that and get people to participate. So they said, you know, '78 was the first race that we actually had the aid stations with food and you know every 3 to 8 miles or whatever. Yeah, it made it unbelievably easy. I ran in '78 for the second time, And I thought, boy, I said, boy, this is really easy. It's really easy.
Really easy.
It was really easy, yeah.
We have to find a way to harden that.
Well, yeah, they did find a way to make it harder, but yeah, I was impressed with how easy it was. They changed the trail and made it harder.
I got it.
Yeah.
Gordy, thank you so much for your patience, for your time, and congrats to create.
Oh, I wanted to tell you something.
Okay.
So after 78, I asked Drusilla, who was the secretary, Wendell's secretary, I said, do you think the run will ever be as big as the ride? And they had 250 people in the ride every year. And she said, oh, far bigger. And I said, really? And she said, oh yeah, the run is far more important than the ride. And you know, they had that vision. You know, I didn't have the vision. They knew where it was going, but I didn't know.
I got it.
Yeah, I didn't know. I couldn't see that, but they could see it.
I got it. And do you think that it's a good thing that so many people from outside the United States wish to come to run, or you think it would be better if it would be a race only for the community, a small.
Well, I really believe that if you have something good, you should share it with as many people as possible. One of the things that distresses me about Western States is that we're only allowed 369 entries. I think we should be allowed 600.
600.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
I think the trail could handle 600.
Yeah, exactly. The trail can handle 600.
It can handle 600.
Do you think that you?
In fact,
you cut the pacers. It's we were allowed to bring more runners in a race without pacers.
I don't think that's a problem, because by the time you get that far down the trail, it doesn't matter.
I got it.
There's plenty of room on the trail.
I got it.
Yeah.
Can you expect it for a rise of the numbers of runners for the next years, or you don't think so?
Well, the only way it's going to change is if I use my political connections.
It's good.
To change it.
Oh man, I
because
hope so.
I do have some political connections.
Oh, nice! It's good to hear.
Well, I am a politician actually.
I'm sure.
I'm an elected member of a board of directors of the recreation district that handles all of this. This is one of our parks.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
And it's a very controversial recreation district for some reason, but it's recreation. We're kind of I'm trying to think of the word. We're an activist group.
Activist.
Yeah.
I got it. It's gonna be great if you can share this race with more people.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a political profile that will go well with our congressman, and I'm going to, it's an argument that will go well with him and with the Trump administration. The argument is simply going to be, this is a preservationist attitude. It's unrealistic. It's unnecessary.
Exactly.
We should use it more. We can use it more because it's all about the wilderness area, and we only spend 5 miles inside the wilderness area, and we only there for 2.5 hours on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning.
Exactly. What's the
early
impact of that?
Yeah, it's like
almost nothing.
Almost nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so I've got a good argument, and the congressman is going to like me.
Okay. Thank you very much, man. You are amazing. You are a kind of one. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be great to be part of that.
Well, I wish you luck. You're crewing and she's running and you're pacing.
Yeah.
Okay.